This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
First at 5, we're dealing with big-time heat across central Indiana. Temperatures in the 90s. The feels-like temperature even hotter.
And plus, many areas have dealt with or are dealing with this. Downpours like this massive one at Saxony Beach and Fishers that send people scattering for cover.
It is a Storm Team 6 alert day, and Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is here tracking what's in store for the rest of the evening out there.
I think today's the most humid day of the summer.
Feels it.
Yeah, anyone who's been outside probably agrees with me, though that led to some downpours. Let's talk about what's happening. 93, the warmest temperature. That in Muncie and Delaware County before the downpours. You're actually in the 70s right now. As you take a look, we've got isolated thunderstorms western half of the state. North and east where you had heavy rain in Hamilton on into Madison and then Delaware counties. The rain has let up for now. Take a little tour. These develop, put down some torrential rainfall. They are moving at least a little bit to the east. That's just west of Lafayette with a heavy rain. Also over eastern Park County, heavy downpours crossing 36, excuse me, Rockville Road. That'll move up toward 231. And heavy rainfall east of Bedford and then from Bedford north toward Lake Monroe. I think we'll see some more development just to the southwest of Indy here in the next hour. Just to show you what happens, the rain cools you down quickly. 79 right now in Muncie, 85 in Indy, 84 in Terre Haute. Temperatures tonight will stay steamy all evening. Scattered thunderstorms. When they develop, they'll produce some gusty winds, 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts, and maybe an inch of rain in an hour's period of time.
Like you've been in the Bahamas with no shade all day and all night.
As summer temperatures swelter, many people are sweating it out without air conditioning. The health department is now cracking down on landlords to make sure they fix broken AC units.
Call 6 Investigates. Kara Kenny is digging through the numbers and working for you tonight to find out what the health department wants you to know.
The Marion County Health Department issued this violation notice to Emerson Place Apartments on July 2nd and gave them until the next day to fix the problem. But people who live here say the air conditioning still isn't fixed.
Troy Holyfield's fan is his best friend lately. He says the air conditioning at Emerson Place Apartments has been out on and off so far this summer. The Marion County Health Department says if you have an AC unit, it must be in working condition. They issued this violation letter July 2nd, giving the Emerson Place Apartments until July 3rd to fix the problem. That's considered an emergency order. Call 6 Investigates found they're not alone. Since May 3rd, the health department issued 113 orders for broken air conditioning. 31 of them were considered an emergency. The health department says they typically reserve emergency orders for when someone is elderly or has a serious medical need for AC.
It's going to depend on several factors: medical necessity, the age of the individuals living there, whether their windows would open or not. They've got screens in them, so we would consider various factors.
This is a notice to the landlord saying you got to fix the problem.
Well, that's a great thing, Dan. I appreciate any help that comes along.
We stopped by the apartment office and it was closed until Monday. Emerson Place and other landlords can face a fine of up to $2,500 if they fail to fix the problem. In an emergency order, the landlord has 24 hours to fix it. If it's a regular order, they could have a month to fix the problem.
If you have an air conditioner and it's not working and you have a landlord, you can call the Marion County Public Health Department at 317-221-2141. Kara Kenny, RTV6.
Thanks, Kara. And the health department also wants to emphasize they cannot fix an air conditioning unit. That's up to the landlord or property management. If your health is in danger, you should call 911 or go to a cool place like a cooling center or a mall. And if you feel like there's an injustice happening where you live and you can't get the problem resolved or any answers, contact us. Just email us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
Metro Police honored the memory of an officer killed in the line of duty. Today marks 5 years since the death of Officer Perry Wren. RTV6's Rafael Sanchez reports on his memorial and the special moments.
Metro Police Officer Perry Wren is not forgotten. It was made clear by the people who gathered at the Heroes of Public Safety section at Crown Hill Cemetery. This is Wren's final resting place, where people can share their grief and are reminded of the call to serve.
Perry's life wasn't taken, it was given by him, and that was a conscious decision that he made every day to show up
Wren was responding to a call of shots fired on East 34th Street and Forest Manor Avenue on July 5th, 2014. The suspect, with an assault rifle, killed Officer Wren. Comments made by the suspect's family that the officer would be alive if he had stayed in his squad car sparked a local campaign, which gained international appeal. With the proclamation for police, "I will always get out of my car."
Perry Wren understood the importance of investing time and in relationships. He served the same community for 20 years. He watched generations grow up. He saw neighborhoods change. He was just as much as part of this community as the Meadows, the Vogue, Castleton Mall, Butler Tarkington Park, or Blackburn Terrace Apartments. And when we lost Perry Wren, we lost a hero and a piece of this community.
Flowers were laid on Wren's gravesite as a symbolic gesture. And it's what Wren stood for that's taken root and bloomed in the hearts and minds of those who continue to respond to 911 calls, no matter the time, no matter the neighborhood. In Indianapolis, Rafael Sanchez, RTV6.
The man convicted of killing Officer Wren is inmate 249215. Major Davis II is currently being housed at the state prison in Michigan City. He is serving life in prison without parole.
Right now, a death investigation is underway after a person discovered a man's body near an abandoned apartment complex. The body was found in the 5000 block of Roselawn Drive just before 1:30 this afternoon. That's near Emerson Avenue and 38th Street on the northeast side. When officers arrived, they found an adult male dead outside the abandoned apartment complex. It is not clear yet exactly how the man died. If you have any information about this case, call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. One of the biggest problems in Indianapolis continues to be deadly violence, and one group is now working to provide support for people who are often forgotten, the mothers of those victims who are sometimes left to grieve alone and pick up the pieces. The group A Mother's Cry is made up of mothers from across Indianapolis, mothers who have lost a child to violence. Sheila Dunlop's son was killed in May of 2014. Before she joined A Mother's Cry, the grief was so heavy she didn't know where to turn for help.
I felt all alone, I really didn't know what to think or what to do because, that was my baby boy. It was just a lot. That's why when the Mother's Cry came along, it felt good because I had hope, somewhere to go.
The group meets every third Saturday of the month at the East 38th Street Library. If you want to be a part of A Mother's Cry, register online at the rossfoundationcommunity.org.
Tonight, police in Fisher say they have arrested 2 men for allegedly setting a fire to a prominent American flag on the 4th of July. We got word about that development within the last hour. The American flag hangs from the back of the stage at the Nickel Plate Amphitheater, an open-air facility on Municipal Drive in downtown Fishers. Now, Fishers police say they believe the 2 men set fire to the flag late last night, destroying it. We're not naming the men since they have not yet been formally charged. At about the same time late last night, someone set a piece of paper on fire in the elevator of the Edge parking garage in Fishers. Also, someone set multiple small fires in the Sunblessed apartment complex, but those fires all burned themselves out. It is not clear if the men are connected to those incidents, but Fishers police are investigating them.
An Indiana native and star of MTV's Teen Mom OG under arrest for alleged battery. IMPD arrested Amber Portwood today in her home in Indianapolis. Police responded to the home on Anchorage Drive just after 3 this morning for a disturbance. That's near East 86th Street, right by Geist Reservoir. Arriving officers say the male victim told them his live-in girlfriend assaulted him while he was holding their 1-year-old child. Portwood has 2 kids, ages 1 and 10. She and her boyfriend, Andrew Glennon, recently had a pregnancy scare on the Teen Mom OG show, according to TMZ. Portwood is preliminary charged with felony domestic battery with a child under 16 present. And this is not Portwood's first brush with the law. She spent 17 months in prison in 2012 after violating her probation from a drug possession case.
State auditors are asking a township trustee to repay more than $56,000 after they found she helped her family using taxpayer money. This happened in Fairmount Township in Grant County, not far from Marion. The trustee, Sheila Metzger, is accused of misusing funds. The state audit found that she and her relatives received township assistance benefits for rent, car expenses, food, and utilities. Auditors say many were missing applications and supporting documentation to show that there was a need. No criminal charges have been filed. The trustee did not respond to our requests for comment.
Still ahead at 5:30 on RTV6, a silent but common condition that you may be missing with your cat or dog, and it could shorten their lives. Working for you, our Scripps team looks into this issue. What you have to know right now.
Up next here at 5, we're learning more about a parasite that's found around swimming pools, the serious impact it could have on you, and how to avoid becoming ill. Kevin.
And there are changes ahead when the humidity will noticeably drop and cooler temperatures arrive, but at least in the short term, it's all about tracking thunderstorms.
Only get yours at Zaxby's.
Welcome back to RTV6 News at 5. Tonight, health officials are warning you to use caution around swimming pools and water playgrounds due to a parasite that causes severe intestinal problems. Cryptosporidium is a disease that causes vomit and diarrhea and can last for weeks. The most common cause of outbreaks is people swallowing contaminated water at public pools and water playgrounds. The fecal parasite does not typically require medical treatment, but it can make you very ill for about 1 to 2 weeks. Health professionals say people who have been ill with diarrhea need to stay out of public pools for 2 weeks after their illness has ended to prevent the spread of this parasite.
And if somebody has had diarrhea and they will continue even after it stops for 2 more weeks, shed that parasite from any stool or anything that's still either on their hands, I know that's nasty, or even from the rectal area.
The CDC says young children can get very sick and can easily spread this parasite.
Today, the city of Indianapolis announced the expansion of a program aimed at reducing violence among Indy's youth. Mayor Joe Hogsett helped to kick off the first night of Safe Summer at Frederick Douglass Park on the north side. Safe Summer is the expansion of Safe Saturdays, which funds safe and productive activities for kids ages 13 and older at Indy parks and community partners. Activities include open mic nights, basketball and kickball, video and board games, conflict resolution workshops, pool days, barbecues, and much more. And it's all free for kids.
We are committed to giving the young people in our community more opportunities to make good choices this summer long.
Safe Summer activities start today and last until August 10th at locations all across the city. We do have a complete list of those locations up right now on the RTV6 app and at our website, theindychannel.com.
Developing tonight, there's still question as to whether the Department of Justice can ask if a person is a U.S. citizen on the new census. President Trump is insisting on including the question, but today was the deadline for the Department of Justice lawyers to present their new argument as to why it's necessary. ABC's Trevor Alt with a look at the debate tonight.
With the clock running out for the government to make a new legal argument on why a citizenship question is needed, President Trump, ever defiant, insisting the census should determine who is and is not an American.
We're finding out everything about everybody. Think of it, $15 to $20 billion, and you're not allowed to ask them, are you a citizen?
Today, the president saying all options are still on the table for trying to get a citizenship question into the 2020 census, including signing an executive order. This just days after his Department of Justice said they'd started printing the census without the citizenship question in response to a decision from the Supreme Court. In a 5-4 ruling, Chief Justice John Roberts rejecting the DOJ's reasoning for the question, calling it contrived.
I have a lot of respect for Justice Roberts, but he didn't like it, but he did say, come back.
This afternoon, DOJ lawyers filed their response to a federal judge in Maryland saying they were still reevaluating all available options following the Supreme Court's decision, perhaps further muddying the waters, an answer President Trump gave this morning when asked why the question was necessary.
Well, you need it for many reasons. Number one, you need it for Congress. You need it for Congress, for districting.
That reasoning is exactly why the administration's opponents want the question kept off the census because congressional districts are drawn by total population, not the number of citizens, a practice that's already been upheld by the Supreme Court. Census officials have said if there's a citizenship question on the census, it will be less accurate. President Trump says they can still print the census without the question and then add it later on if they get approval. Trevor Ault, ABC News, Washington.
Happening tomorrow, royal baby Archie, the newborn son of Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan of Sussex, will be christened in a ceremony at Windsor Castle. Harry and Meghan plan to share some photos after the ceremony, but royal christenings are highly private. It's unclear who will attend. The names of the godparents are typically made public at this ceremony, but it appears the names of baby Archie's godparents will remain private too.
Well, they just want to keep it private, even though the world just wants to know.
What's not a secret is how hot and humid it was out there today.
It's not exclusive. We're all in this together. You get a downpour, that cools the temperature off, but it keeps the humidity just way up there somewhere. Okay, Monday and Tuesday will be the two best feeling days within the 7-day planner. We've got that to look forward to. Let me throw some heat your way. 90, that was our temperature today, but it felt so much warmer. 99, the peak heat index in Indianapolis. Other spots had triple-digit heat index values. Kind of divide the state in half right now. Most of the action to the west. There is one little shower in southeast Shelby County, just to the south then of I-74. Let's zoom in. Heavier rain, nice little pocket of a downpour between Rockville and Bainbridge. This will move to the northeast and cross 231 south of Crawfordsville, probably near Linden. And this is interesting. So these thunderstorms, when they start putting down the heavy rain, you feel the cooler air out ahead of it before it rains at your place. Well, those outflows from thunderstorms then help create other thunderstorms. You have an outflow from a thunderstorm here coming southwest, and where these collide is where they build new thunderstorms. And I think we'll have more development here in Morgan and Hendricks County in a while because of the collision of those outflow boundaries. Just northeast of Bedford, that's starting to fade between Bedford and Nashville. Again, these kind of hopscotch along the way, and we'll see more through the evening hours. Cody giving us the eyes, wanting to take a walk, at least thinking that they want to take a walk. We'll see. Take some water, that's for sure. Helen Chase sending in the photo. A couple of thunderstorms between now and 11 o'clock tonight. Wherever it rains, it pours. What changes for the weekend? Not much tomorrow. Still very warm, very humid. Thunderstorms are likely. Changes on Sunday. Rain chances way down. 85 degrees. The humidity will begin to drop. It will really be noticeably less humid Monday and Tuesday. During the day tomorrow, thunderstorms quite numerous, especially during the afternoon hours. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, just depending on the timing of the thunderstorms. The earlier in the day, that cuts off the heating, but plan on another uncomfortable day with some interruptions to your outdoor activity. There they are popping up during the heat of the day. Very widespread at 4 o'clock from Terre Haute through Indy to Richmond, and they're still with us tomorrow evening. What's not in the forecast for several days in a row, really starting Sunday through Tuesday, humidity starts to drop out, temperatures a little more comfortable, and it's a dry stretch. The best chance of rain is in the middle of next week. 89 with some thunderstorms Wednesday, and then we're back to dry conditions Thursday and Friday.
It would be nice to get that cool off today.
I agree.
All right, it would be nice.
Well, the dream continues for a 15-year-old who is marching right through Wimbledon. Coco Gauff is still in the headlines, and a doubles partner. The controversy tonight in London. Next.
The meat. 4 sandwiches.
Welcome back to the RTV6 News at 5. A man convicted of killing a nanny is still waiting to learn his fate.
A jury is trying to decide whether or not he should receive the death penalty. Julie Grant with Court TV joins us with what is happening now.
A very good day to you. I'm Julie Grant here at Court TV, and today we are bringing you coverage of the penalty phase of the trial of the state of Florida versus Scott Edward Nelson. Court is in recess today, but the defense is hard at work. They are deposing more witnesses and trying to convince the jury to spare Nelson's life. He's already been convicted of murdering beloved nanny Jennifer Fulford. Now, Nelson's life is hanging in the balance as the jury will be deciding whether to recommend the death penalty for him or life in prison without parole. The defense is wrapping up its case, and we know of at least one witness that they plan to call on Monday. We know that Nelson took the stand during the guilt phase of this trial, but the big question is, will he take the stand again? We'll continue bringing you gavel-to-gavel coverage of this compelling criminal trial right here on Court TV. I'm Julie Grant. Now back to you in the studio.
And you can follow this case and many others whenever and wherever you want on CourtTV.com.
The improbable run continues.
15-year-old tennis superstar Coco Gauff just won another match at Wimbledon, sending her to the round of 16. That's the final 16 in the entire tournament.
Yeah, and it was a thrilling win for Coco, as she had to come from behind, even withstanding 2 match points. Coco Gauff is the youngest player to make it to Wimbledon's 3rd round since 1991. She stole headlines after her stunning upset of Venus Williams in the 1st round.
And her newfound fame leading to some unexpected drama as British tennis player Jay Clark admitted he dumped his doubles partner to play with Coco instead.
Yeah, she asked me to play, and there was no bigger name this week. I've known Coco for a while, and she's really nice.
ESPN tennis commentator Patrick McEnroe says switching doubles partners is not uncommon.
Gauff's next singles match will be on Sunday against Simona Halep of Romania, and no rest for Gauff as her doubles match with Clark will be on Saturday. All right, watching that phenom, right?
Very fun.
Coming up on the news at 6 here, you see them on the HGTV show Good Bones. Now the Indianapolis home renovation stars are helping to make the city safer. You'll find out how on RTV6 News at 6.
But first on the Now Indy, 6 years since a home explosion rocked the Richmond Hill neighborhood. And tonight we are remembering one of those survivors who recently passed away. You're watching RTV6.